the toughness and the resiliency that we showed throughout the game. I thought we played well offensively, did a better job running the ball, and also, holding on to the ball. You look at, I think we had 37 minutes of possession. The first drive was 16 plays, it ended up in a touchdown. Our third down percentage was a whole lot better than what it was the game before. Thought guys were able to make plays, particularly down the stretch. We were able to score in every quarter, and so I think offensively, kind of the identity of what we want to be, who we are, is to be able to run the ball and then some play action pass stuff. But thought Darius did a great job of managing that. Defensively, again, I thought we played really, really well. It's the second game in a row that did a great job with the third down percentages, limiting some of the explosive plays, but they got some on their own as well. But in the fourth quarter, taking 3 shots to the end zone, be able to put the ball down and go away with a win. So excellent football team that Wofford is. Very, very tough, gritty team. But I was proud of the way our guys played, hung in there, went toe to toe for moments, but at the same time just started to try to impose our will on being able to run the ball and playing good defense. And so we had 3 sacks, a lot of pressures on the quarterback. And it's just great to see, just all 3 elements of our football team playing well together against a good team. We're going to have to continue to keep doing that because, it doesn't get any easier, particularly who we got coming in, another Southern Conference opponent coming in this Saturday with Furman coming to town. But overall, pleased with our performance. We want more, obviously, as a coach, and I know the players do as well. But we're excited about being where we are now and having a chance to get better and move forward.
First question this afternoon from John O'Connor. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Rob. Hey, Mike, how do you know if a guy like Jonathan Hammond, who played at a little bit lower level, can translate into your lineup and make an impact? You talked about the sacks, and he had a good game down there, obviously. I wonder if you could speak to his impact.
Yeah, he did, John. Obviously, we're living in the world of the transfer portal and things like that. I mean, our ability to get players a lot of times are based on the Ivy League, Patriot League, and schools like Davidson, the guys that want to pursue masters here. We had one of our kickers last year was from there, and so he talked about we started, investigating or finding out about players that can help us. Are they like-minded? They don't want to seek a degree. Are they great team players? Just tell us a lot about the individual, and just come to find out that Jonathan went in the portal, was available. He fit a need because we lost John Pius, went to Wisconsin. He fit a need as far as rushing the passer, and he did that. He showed up pretty well on Saturday. So we're going to continue to keep asking him to do more and more. He's also a long snapper, so he does a lot of things for us. But it was a great fit for him. Him coming to us and him being here. It was a great fit for us to add him to the team and to continue to try to do things where it can help us win football games.
Thanks, Coach Lyon.
Thanks, John.
Mike, your next question from Brian Smith. Good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Coach.
Hi, Brian.
Assess 3 games in right now. Do you give your team a grade or anything like that, or there are specific things that you feel like this team needs to be or could be at right now?
Well, I mean, you can assess. We're 2-1. We played a really good first home opener, tough game, scored a lot of points. Then we played an FBS team that was really, really good. Didn't quit, kept going, and was able to score in the fourth quarter and do some things defensively that we hadn't been doing previously. Played another really good FCS team that was kind of toe to toe, running the ball, third downs, just the back and forth of it, scoring touchdowns, and then keeping them out of the end zone. So I like our team. I like where we are. I like a guy like Bronson Yoder, who I thought did a fantastic job running the ball and showing the Bronson Yoder of old, where just one guy, not taking him down and just extending drives. Darius, like I said, we had to improve on third down situations. And I believe we were 11 for 16 when the game before we were like 5 for 16. And when you hold on to the ball that much and you have the ground game, that adds to who you are and your identity. So I think we're trending in the right direction. We want more as a team, But where we are now and the opportunities to get better, have this game against a really good Furman team at home here, it helps us at this point of where we are and how we're trying to improve ourselves.
And one other follow-up question. I know you're the kind of person that just thinks of who you're playing next, but I couldn't help but notice Hampton is like right after that. Do you have to have that conversation with your players because they're neighbors? Some of the guys know each other. Do you at least have to have the conversation of, okay, the great big pink elephant in the room, let's not think about that. Let's deal with now.
Brian, I don't even know who we play next week. I'm worried about, you're right. I'm worried about who we play now. And then I'm quite sure the human nature part of that, guys knowing each other, being around this area. I'm quite sure that comes up in conversations, but they just won. They won a big game. They got a big win, and and we won our game. But the focus for us is on a really good Southern Conference team that was in the playoffs last year, that has a quarterback that was the Stats National Freshman of the Week, that has a receiver that set his personal record for receptions. And so those are the most important things that we're looking at as we get ready for this Saturday back at home. It's great being back at Zabel after being away the last 2 weekends. But the Furman football team is a good football team that's coming in to obviously to battle and compete. But we want to put ourselves in a position so we can talk about getting better and worry about who the next opponent is as we take care of the current one. And that's kind of the mindset, Brian.
Sure, get that.
Mike, you talked about Bronson's stay, 142 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and Darius, the balanced offense that you had, both rushing and passing. But talk about that drive that ended up being the game winner, 12 plays, 91 yards, that Bronson finishes with the 1-yard run. How impressed were you with your offense's ability to motor down the field and eat up a lot of clock there?
Yeah, I tell you, Brian, like I said, the first drive was 16 plays, got a touchdown. There were 2 drives of 12 plays that resulted in touchdowns, and a drive of 9 plays that resulted in a touchdown. So, and that's converting on some third downs. One was a third and long. So the ability to do those types of things was critical for us, critical for our success. I thought the offensive line played great up front. And again, you have guys like Bronson Yoder and Malachi Emo. Those guys have done a really good job. So the grit and the continuing just kind of to find we're a wide zone team, inside zone team. That's what we do. And we got guys that can find the holes to get up in there and make 2 yards or 10 yards or 22 yards. And so we're going to have to continue to keep getting better at the things that we do. But I thought Saturday's game was kind of a telltale of who we can be as a football team that wants to be able to run the ball.
I want to switch back over to the defense. You talked about the great job or a great game Jonathan Hammond had. In the secondary, you guys had to survive pretty nerve-wracking finish there with a lot of, as you said, a lot of shots in the end zone. I think Sasha Garcia ended up with 4 pass breakups, which is a ton for a D-back. Just talk about those guys being able to survive those last few minutes.
Yeah, football is a game of situations, as we all know, and we all practice the first, second down, and third down things, a goal line and a red zone. Down there was the Hail Mary type plays were thrown to the end zone because of what the time was and the limited number of timeouts that they had. So those are elements where they were just going up, throwing the ball, trying to go the 50-50 route. And our guys, Coach Dowling, who's a co-D coordinator, also the secondary coach, has done a great job in coaching and teaching the techniques to come out on top with that. I thought we played well through their receivers' hands. And sometimes they threw the ball down the field and the 50-50 ball, they caught it. They made some outstanding catches, those receivers did. So, being again, it goes back to being resilient, and you end up doing the things that you're coached to do. And towards the latter part of the game, all those elements came together, and we were able to, come away with a victory against a really good football team.
As you touched on, Furman has been one of the top teams in the SoCon for many years now, nationally ranked to start the year, and I think they've slipped out after a couple of losses, but still a quality program. What are the keys for your team to continue this, to put another win on the board?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they played Ole Miss, you know, and you've seen the Charleston Southern and Stetson, who they just played. So the keys are, this is a championship team that has a pedigree of knowing what it takes to win games at their place and on the road. They've been in the NCAA playoffs, you know, and so our approach to them is, this is the most important game for us because it's another FCS game, it's another Southern Conference game, it's a home game for us, and we want to be able to have, you know, put some games together where there's demonstrated performance about our team being able to play well in all three facets. So I know they're a good football team. They're going to come in here. It's a 6:00 p.m. game, and it should be exciting, you know, to be back at home again. But we look forward to the challenge, and then also have an opportunity for the CAA to continue to, you know, to represent when we're playing out of conference opponents.
All right, Mike, thanks for the time this afternoon. Good luck against Furman on Saturday night, and we'll talk again next week.
All right, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. Again, for media members who are on the call, just use the chat feature, the raise your hand icon, if you have questions for any of the coaches here this afternoon. We're pleased to be joined by the